The following is a production of the Averett Sports Network.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Grand Center for your tonight's USA South Conference matchup between the William Peace Pacers and your Averett University Cougars. Tonight we have women's basketball, and the women's basketball looking to bounce back from a hard defeat at Piedmont last Saturday and hopefully trying to get right back on track. They are one spot out of the playoff race here as we look closer to the end of January and start looking towards playoff push in February. I'm joined by our assistant athletic sports information director, Davin Wilson. And Davin, it's good to have you here tonight.
Well, thanks for having me, John. Glad to be here.
And we do appreciate having you here. I don't have to talk to myself, but looking at some of the stuff coming in, William Peace hasn't been the strong team late here as they are 0-6 coming into the season. And looking at Averett, they're slowly starting to pick up. As we know, they started great, started winning the first 3 games, but going up to that tournament up in Washington, not excelling as much as they were. But they're an over 500 team overall, but 2-3 in the conference right now, and that definitely says something.
It does, and it just on both the men's and women's side, the USA South Conference is so tough when it comes to basketball. And this time of year, you never know what to expect, and it's a lot like the ACC, those ACC commercials. You better bring your A game.
Exactly, Davin, and we're going to jump straight into our pregame, our Daily 7 pregame show. And if you need a place to stay next time you come to Danville to cheer on the Cougars, be sure to check out one of the fine Daily 7 properties, Holiday Inn Express, Courtyard Marriott, or the Innkeeper, conveniently located just a short drive from North Campus, Main Campus, and many of Danville's historical locations. Don't forget Holiday Inn Express, Courtyard Marriott, or Innkeeper on your next trip to Daily Field. Daily 7, proud sponsors of Averett Athletics. And, Davin, I haven't done a lot of women's games this year. As I know the 4 quarters are definitely seeming a little maybe longer or speedier for the women, but you gotta admire the women coming in. Definitely been thrown around with the rule changes and absolutely doing well, adjusting to them. And of course, with Coach Hickey dealing with such a young group, only the senior Jessica Myers really to lead the pack out there. How do you feel that Averett's been with just such a young team and with Jessica Myers leading this one?
Well, I tell you, Coach Hickey has really done a great job this year, and really the best I've seen her coach here in my time here at Averett. She's really pulling a lot out of her players. She's getting high energy minutes out of them each game, and they really look like a different ball team. And of course they are led by the veteran Jessica Myers, the point guard, and the Cougars really rely on her speed and her knowledge of the system and her ability to execute the system to find success.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Davin. And it looks like she turns to other people like Frida Lundquist and Joelle Deese, some main veterans, and of course Sam Chandler, who's always on the scoreboard, whether it's points, rebounds, or steals. She's always that person to make it big. But looking at their game before Piedmont, they were at Mary Baldwin, where they successfully defeated the Squirrels 99-43. And if you look at some of these results, it looks like Frida Lundquist, like we were talking about, had 2 big career highs in points and rebounds at Mary Baldwin that Wednesday. How do you think she plays in part when looking at another team like William Peace, who isn't that far off from Mary Baldwin but can still be good competition when they come to the Grand Center?
Well, every year William Peace comes down here, we come up there. You never know what to expect from them because they are such an athletic team, and they really scrap it out for the hard victories. But I think Frida, she not only provides the Cougars with a little inside presence, but I think really Averett will rely on her when they need to get the three-point game started. And also, she did a great job with rebounds as well, picking up a career-high 12 rebounds, 8 to go along with a career-high 18 points. So a double-double for Lundquist against Mary Baldwin. So, I think she will be very big coming off the not coming off the bench, actually getting the start for the Cougars tonight.
I agree with you, Dan. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to have our Big Sky Rents and Events breakdown for you. So stay tuned. We got Averett women's basketball coming your way soon. And welcome back to the Grand Center here as we're just finishing up our Daily 7 pregame. We're moving on to our breakdown, our Big Sky Rentals breakdown. And if you're stressed out over planning a wedding or hosting a special event or need rental equipment for that construction or landscaping project if you wanted to start, then go see the folks down at Big Sky Rents and Events who remind you that their inventory really is as big as the Montana sky. Under 7 minutes here before tip-off, women's basketball, Averett University versus William Peace in the USA South Conference today. We're going to take a look at some of the Big Sky Rents and Events breakdown here. And definitely someone we want to talk about who's kind of fallen off a little bit was Alexis Rosia. And she was very strong coming in, definitely earned herself a starting spot, but not really that much. She did maintain that injury where she took the elbow to the eye there. And, she hasn't been it doesn't look like she's been getting really back into the college game, but slowly but surely, it takes time, and she's absolutely a wonderful player. So how do you feel that she is handling this situation right now, knowing that she has to, kind of pick it up, knowing that they're really getting into the playoff push?
Well, I think she's handled it great for a freshman, and, like you said, John, she was out last time with the injury protocol, and, really, too, with that game against Mary Baldwin, usually a little bit of an easier game, easier contest. So I think that Coach Hickey was just trying more or less to save her for, games like this where they are really going to need her. But really, Rosia, big point guard, and she has the ability to shoot the three and has already come in and really gained a very strong sense. Excuse me, I couldn't talk there. Strong sense of the system that Hickey and Crawford and Bailey run, and I think she's really stepped up big for the Cougars.
Absolutely, I agree with you, and we do like to take a note real quick that Averett was voted 7th in the USA South Conference this before the preseason, but right now they're sitting at a low 9th place, not even in playoff contention right now. But definitely, if we know our girls are definitely someone to make a stir at the end of the season to definitely get in that spot, that last spot, if not a higher spot this year. Remember last year they went to Maryville and had to play the number 1 seed first round, and they definitely made it a game against them. But now, they definitely are looking to get a higher seed so they don't have to be in that situation again. Speaking of Maryville, that was William Peace's last opponent. They lost 85-48, a tough one at Maryville College. Another great school that we talk about. They sit in second behind Piedmont, who recently defeated Our Lady Cougars. But definitely, you look at this team, and we talked about the youth, we talked about the age. We got to talk about kind of like the future and what Liz Hickey has planned. You know, she's losing a young or a very experienced, Jessica Myers, and you know that she's a great senior guard, great attitude, great everything captain. But it's definitely something to look forward to here as they got the younger women, I should say, coming up.
Well, and you know she will definitely sorely be missed. But you know, really looking down the line, Joelle Deese has really stepped up for the Cougars off the bench here lately. Of course, Anika Jones. So Nika will be graduating after this season, but she's also been very key in filling in for Johanna Koski in the post. And also looking, you know, you've got Ariana Covington, Haley Chandler, of course, Sam Chandler. So I think the Cougars will definitely feel her absence next year, but I also think that they are stocked and can pick right up where they left off next season.
I agree with you, and of course injuries has plagued this team early on. We talked about Alexis Rocia slowly getting back in, but you see the other girls on the sidelines there aren't able to help their team out as they're in a injury protocol going as well. But regardless, we still have a basketball game and are still going to look forward to it. And we're going to take another short break, but when we come back, we're going to have our starting lineups brought to you by our broadcast announcer, Jay Stevens. And we will have the opening tip ball for your USA South Conference matchup between Averett and William Peace. And we will be right back. And we welcome you back here to the Grant Center, and we're going to turn you over to Jay Stevens to introduce the starting lineups and have your national anthem. So stay tuned and listen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, the visiting Pacers. At guard, a sophomore from Relax, Oklahoma, number 12, Cassie Clark. At forward, the junior from Clinton, North Carolina, number 14, Tamara Murphy. At guard, a freshman from Nashville, North Carolina, number 20, Susanna Sykes. At forward, the junior from Danville, North Carolina, number 25, Taylor Newton. And at forward, the junior from Maple Hill, North Carolina, number 33, Andriana Robinson. The assistant coaches for the Pacers are Brittany Lynn and Donald King. And the head coach for the Pacers is Kevin Johnson. And now, let's introduce your starters for the Cougars of Danville University. At guard, a sophomore from Burnsville, North Carolina, number 10, Sam Chandler. At guard, a sophomore from Cary, North Carolina, number 11, Joel Deese. At guard, a senior from Alton, Virginia, number 12, Jessica Myers. At guard, a sophomore from Stockholm, Sweden, number 28, Frida Lundquist. At forward, a senior from Westburg, Virginia, number 52, Nika Go. Head coach Raymond Smith, assistant Miami Man, and Morgan Fox. And later we were in the South NCAA.
And we welcome you back here to the Grand Center. Knowing that you just got the opening lineup, we're going to move right into our American National Bank opening tip-off. With over a century of experience serving the Danville community, American National is just the bank you would imagine for all of your financial needs. Whether you're a college student or business professional, take another look at what American National can do for you. Be sure to stop by one of their offices and visit with their helpful staff. Learn more at amnb.com. Member FDIC. All right, starting lineups are announced, and both teams are out there ready for the tip-off. 10 minutes on the clock. It'll be Sam Chandler, number 10, versus number 33, Andriana Robinson, for the jump ball on this one. Both teams looking to bounce back from losses here, and we are all set to go here in Danville, Virginia. It's a snowy night out here, but we're indoors, and Sam Chandler comes away with the tip-off. It's going to be Joel Deese first here to give it to Jessica Myers. On the Lundquist over to Chandler. Now to Deese. Goes over to Chandler to Myers. Myers with a drive. Passes it to Deese, and she'll get called for a walk.
And one thing that we've seen so far this season, John, is, the Cougars really benefit when they can get turnovers, and really a lot of dead ball turnovers a couple of weekends ago against Greensboro and against Ferrum, but it definitely led to the Cougars being able to get points on the opposite end.
We'll see if it benefits them here tonight, Davin. This is now number 12, Clark, over to 25, Gooden, and she'll get called for a travel going back to Averett. Very quick-paced ball game, trying to get settled in now. Looks like Myers will slow it up, trying to see what they're working with. And Myers hands it over to Deese, looking for something to open up. And Chandler will put up a three, and that falls. First points of the night go to Chandler.
And that's something we have definitely seen a whole lot this season and in the past couple of years from Chandler, the ability to shoot the three.
And it's number 20, Susanna Sykes. Gives it over to Gooden now. Called for the walk earlier. Back to Sykes, over to Clark, looking for someone to develop inside. Gives it over to 14, that's Tamara Murphy. Clark to Sykes for three. Off the rim, rebounded by Jones. Myers brings it up, gives it to Lundquist, looking for a speedy takeoff, can't find it. Throws it over to Dees, finds Chandler in the corner. She'll drive. Back out to Myers. Myers looks for Sun. She'll drive. And then Lundquist will end up with the shot. No good. Rebound goes to Robinson.
And Jones really has been a big factor here under the boards for Averett, picking up a career-high 16 against Piedmont last Saturday.
And Chandler going for the block there, and no luck as she's called for the foul. It will be Adriana Robinson taking 2. Robinson, a 5 of 10 free throw shooter. 50% overall. Unable to hit her first one here.
And the Pacers shooting 57.3% so far from the season from the charity stripe. So solid numbers there for the Pacers.
As Robinson gets the first point on the board for the Pacers. Going to be Myers here to take it up the court. Deese immediately met by Sykes. Over to Chandler. Puts it up for 2. Does not fall, but will draw the foul. Foul will be on number 33, Adriana Robinson, her first, team's first. So 1 foul apiece for the teams here early on in the first quarter. And Chandler, very dominant free throw percent shooter.
70.5% from the line, so you're right on that, John.
That's a better GPA than I have, so we're going to say that's good. Looking at Sykes coming in. Sykes met by Myers. We're going to watch that matchup tonight, see who gets the benefit, as it's going to be Clark now on top. And Clark took a walk. 1 too many steps. 3 travels called early in this one here. It's going to be Myers to inbound to Deese, back to Myers, and Myers will set up the offense for the Cougars. Finds Deese in the left side. Gives it over to Lundquist now. Lundquist looking to drive, finds Chandler. She's has the only points for the Cougars so far, and she loses it but takes it back while on the floor. Deese throws it up to Lundquist, who has it hit away by Sykes. It's Chandler and Sykes running for it. Both are on the ground, and Chandler comes away with it. No harm, no foul there. That's Myers. And Lundquist goes up with it. Hard shot, nothing coming. That's going to be Gooden to bring it up, trying to slow it down for this Pacer offense now.
And that was a very physical battle right there between Chandler and Sykes for that loose ball.
That's Robinson from 2, no good. And then looks like Murphy's going to go up there and draw herself a foul. Tamara Murphy, the junior forward from Clinton, North Carolina.
And we were speaking of Rosia in the preseason show, and it looks like she is getting ready to get her first minutes of the night after this free throw.
First one's good for Murphy.
Alexis Rosia checks in for Averett.
A 100% free throw shooter on the season, 2 for 2. Three for 3. Stays perfect.
And speaking of perfect, I believe it was Anika Jones last week here at the Grandstand. It was perfect, 8 for 8 from the field and 1 for 1 from the charity stripe. So a perfect game for her as well. And as the Cougars picked up a win.
And it was Frida Lundquist that was charged with that foul. As Chandler puts up a nice, nothing but net shot there for a good 2.
And Chandler's such a key part of this team. And
that's Murphy out to Clark, looks for a shot. She travels again. Very hesitant Cassidy Clark is over there when her first move is. She's trying to find something to open up, but can't find it. And then when she realizes it's not open, she'll take an extra step, and that's when she gets called for the travel. And this is now Lundquist over to Deese.
And that's what the Cougars' defense has been so good at doing, just really playing such high pressure and high tempo defense. Force those turnovers. Got
to take away the options quick here early on. Let them know your dominance here. As this is Chandler with a drive up for 2, and she's good. And she has all 9 points for Averett right now. It is Sam Chandler versus William Peace. This is now Gooden. Inside to Robinson. Outside to Clark. To Sykes. To Gooden. Good ball movement here out of the Pacers, but it's taken away by Deese. That's the curse of the commentator on that one, Davin.
It is. It is.
This is Myers. A very forced pass intercepted by Gooden, but can't hang on to it, so it's going to go out of bounds, and we're going to have a boatload of subs coming in. As it looks like Shannon Longworth coming in, starting to rack up minutes here late in the season.
And Jones and Erickson coming in for the Pacers.
Right. We'll see how that benefits for them. And it's going to be Rosia over to Myers now. Myers, good movement here. Goes over to Longworth, and her back foot was on the line. Basket was good. Basket was no good, but it did go in. And it's going to be Clark to inbound to Sykes.
And you were talking about the broadcaster's curse. It's also the writer's curse, too, especially in baseball. You start to put together a story, and you just about get it done. And team comes back in the ninth inning and makes you change everything around. And
the three-pointer is off by Gooden, rebounded by Rosia as she pushes the offense here for the Cougars. Gives over to Lundquist. Good basket catch by her. Rosia cross court to Myers. Myers with a three. Oh, just off the back. Out of bounds on number 35. That is Lakia Jones. Checking in back in for the Cougars is Anika Jones, and now we'll see the first appearance of Tequila Washington of the night. Coming in for Frida Lundquist. Washington over to Rosia. Myers has an open three, and she'll drain it. Good start here for the Averett Cougar offense, as it's now 12-3 here. And it's a battle on the floor. That was Longworth. And she was tied up with Hannah Erickson there. It's going to be number 10, Tanea McKenzie, to inbound it. Finds Sykes for a three. Does not fall. Rebounded by Jones. And Rosia will push the offense yet again. Finds Washington in the corner. Looks for a shot. Can't find it. Gets it to Myers, who will put it up for three. No good on that one.
And that's one of the areas Averett has been extremely strong at this year. The point guard position. They have Rosia, they have Chandler, and they have Myers as well, and both of them can really run this Averett offense.
This is now Gooden in the corner. Gives it back to McKenzie at the top. McKenzie with a drive, can't hang on to it. Off her foot last, it'll be Averett ball. Frida Lundquist checks back in for the Jessica Myers there. Rosia coming over. Gives it to Washington. Bounce pass to Lundquist, who will put it up for a three, and that's open. The bank is open on Wednesday night.
Little flashes of Tim Duncan right there.
Absolutely. This is now good in the corner. Jones. That's over to Erickson. Can't find the favorable layup. This is going to be Washington to bring it up. Shannon Longworth looking for something to open up. Gives it to Rosia. Finds Washington in the corner. Can't find off the back rim. Longworth will put it back up. Can't fall. Rebounded by Johnson, and Sykes will bring it up for the Pacers. Johnson will throw up a three. That's good.
And that's definitely a big three right there for the Pacers as it gets them within 9.
It ends the run for Averett. As this is Longworth for three. Does not fall. Rebounded by Jones, and she'll get caught behind the back. It'll be on the floor against number 20 of William Peace. That is Susanna Sykes, her first of the night. Second for the Pacers.
And Jones, once again, just being incredibly tough under the board, scrapping out. And, you know, she is tough on both ends of the ball, too, offensively and defensively, just really grabbing those rebounds. And
this is Lundquist. Quick inbound. Can't find it. Gets her own rebound. Passes it back out to Rosia. Gives it to Lundquist again in the corner. To Longworth, to Rosia, and Rosia pop a three. No good. Rebounded again by Lundquist. That's 3 rebounds for the Cougars. Chandler with a drive, the shot, and that falls.
And, John, I think that's going to be the key here, who's going to win this rebounding battle.
Absolutely, I agree with you. There's not really a big height differential on the court right now. Everyone's around the 5 foot, 6 foot median. And it's going to be Chandler with a drive. Gives it over to Rosia. Back to Chandler. Chandler put it up for 2, and she's good.
And the Cougars now shooting 43.8% from the field, so off to a solid night so far.
Yep, and it's stolen away again. Here comes Rosia down the line over to Lundquist, and that's good for 2. And Coach Kelly Johnson of the William Peace Pacers are going to take a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it right here for you. We would like to remind you that our men's team is playing in Fayetteville against Methodist. We will have live stats for you when that starts at 7:30 Eastern Time.
And, John, that's going to be a real battle right there. Methodist really coming in last, very tough team. They beat us here last year. We beat them on the road. And the men's coming off a big win against Peabody, in which they really used their physicality to just really outman the Lions and really pull away in the second half.
It'll be a game definitely to tune into as we keep you live here if you can't catch it on the broadcast on the Methodist website. But right now we have Averett women's basketball for you, and we're going to look at some of the individual stats. I think we know who takes the cake for Averett right now. It is yours truly, Sam Chandler, with 13 points. Great start early on in the first quarter.
And, one thing, too, right now, John, Averett with 9 rebounds to Peace's 5, so winning that battle under the boards.
Yep. And that's definitely a key one as Washington almost tries to take it away from Gooden. And Gooden loses the control of the ball and she'll get called for a walk.
So that's now 8 turnovers for the Pacers compared to Averett's 2. And a lot of those have been dead ball fouls, but either way, gives the ball back to Averett.
And it shows the good pressure that Averett is putting on the Pacers early here. And this is over to Washington, to Longworth. Throws it down court to Myers. Myers for 3, does not fall, and Chandler will get a rebound, her first of the night. And that does not fall. Chandler was 5 for 5 until that last one, now 5 for 6 from the field goal. That's a corner shot by Johnson. Gets nothing. And it's going to be called a double dribble by Myers. They're saying she tried to dribble it while it was low, then picked it up, then dribbled it again. Double dribble, a call you don't see often here, but it was called there. Now it's going to be Pacer ball. It's going to be overthrown, and Myers will take it away. Close collision with her and Sykes. And now Washington comes away with it. She'll pull up for 2, and that's good.
And, we talked about Daquilla Washington here during the postgame show. And, junior guard, she's going to be big helping the Cougars fill a couple of absences next year.
And Jessica Myers looking like a cornerback right there trying to intercept something. Great effort by her jumping in the way. Unable to get the ball, but it'll remain Pacer ball.
And you have to feel sorry for her knees right now.
Oh, gosh. She jumps around. And here comes Lundquist getting the rebound there. Gives it over to Longworth. Longworth going to slow it up here as Washington might hold it for the last shot. Gives it over to Myers. To Lundquist. Lundquist finds Chandler. Chandler will drive. No good. But will be called for a blocking foul. That'll be on 33. Andriana Robinson, her second of the night. Team's third. Chandler's good for first there.
And Averett continues to be perfect from the charity stripe tonight, shooting 100%.
And they stay perfect there, Davin. As it's going to be Sykes to come in for number 25, Gooden.
And Cougars come into this one a 60.3 free throw shooting team. So
they're on the positive side of 50 there, so that is good looking, especially now that we're getting closer to the end of the season here. It's number 2, Lauren Lane, checking in, and she puts it up. No good. And the first quarter has come to the end. Averett on top, 25-6. We're going to take a short break here as we switch over now before the second quarter. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the Grand Center here. Averett off to a commanding 25-6 lead early on here in the first quarter, looking to continue this pace as they trying to blow out the Pacers here early in the first half. It's going to be Myers to bring it up, and that's slowly thrown away, gives it over to Sykes.
And, you know, Averett was the highest scoring team last year, but they have really stepped up the offensive firepower this season and have been a dangerous team.
And that's given to Erickson for the shot for 2. First points of the quarter go to Peace and stop a very commanding Cougar run. And this is Deese. Deese puts it up for 2, and she's good. Averett answer everything, if not more.
Out to a 19-point lead now, and really kind of surprised at the way this one's turning out so far.
Well, Averett definitely trying to bounce back from that Piedmont game on Saturday, as it looks like Deese comes up with it, and Coach Hickey's going to call a 30-second timeout trying to gain possession back.
And, John, they really did a great job of storming back. I believe they were down by 15 going into the fourth quarter and really came back and made it a ball game. Just unfortunately the time ran out on the comeback, and they ended up losing 73-64, but Hickey still has to be impressed. Talked with her earlier in the week, and she said she was really impressed with the way the team played and the heart they're giving her right now. And
you're absolutely right, Davin. You know, when it comes to trying to be the comeback team, we saw it on Sunday when the Carolina played Seattle. Carolina taking a 31-0 lead in Seattle, trying to come back late, wasn't able to. You know, the effort's there. You got to know, but you know when you start off so not well, you know, you got to realize that you shouldn't have been in that position in the first place sometimes, but. Kudos to Averett as they definitely stormed back and definitely are showing why they deserve to be atop the playoff spots for the USA South here tonight. As this is Deese pushed up for 2, no good.
And you know, Averett really made their run towards the tournament last year a little bit later in the season.
Right.
And I don't see any reason the same thing can't happen this year.
They are definitely the definition of a playoff push, I will admit. And it looks like we're going to have our first foul of the quarter. It's going to be on number 11, Joelle Deese, her first.
And, you know, I'm looking at one game right now that I think will be key. February 6th, coming up against number 14, Maryville, at Maryville. So, you know, get a little regular season test looking towards the tournament.
Absolutely, and they're very familiar with Maryville. Like we said, that is the team that knocked them out in the first round last year at Maryville, only by a 1-point margin, which was very impressive for these girls. But unfortunately, that is just the way it rolls, and Maryville is always going to be a strong, competitive team. And you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, I always say. So I'm sure they'll be ready for the competition as soon as they get off that bus in Tennessee.
I know they will, and anything can happen, as we've seen this weekend on the men's side with some of the upsets that we saw. And
absolutely.
So hoping to get a little help from the Cougars.
And that's the beauty of sports. You never know what's going to happen. It was a jump ball situation. Now William Peace is back with it. And it looks like Jessica Myers got tied up a little bit, but they're going to call her for the foul on number 12. She draws her first foul of the contest. Moves on to the second foul for the team. It's going to be McKenzie into Erickson. Erickson's going to drive against Jones, and Jones is going to get called for the foul. Oh, no. They're going to put it on 21, Alexis Rosia. It looked like it was going to be on Jones, but apparently Alexis Rosia snuck up behind her.
And that would be Rosia's first foul.
And Myers is going to step out of the contest for her teammate, Frida Lundquist. And she finds McKenzie up for two, no good. Rebounded by Jones. Jones puts up, no good. Jones puts it back up, and Jones is good for two.
Good hustle right there from the Pacers, getting their misses and taking advantage of those second chance opportunities.
Yep. Over to Chandler. Both Chandlers are in for Averett University, Haley and Sam Chandler. Lundquist for the drive for two, no good. Rebounded by Sykes. We have two Jones on the court, one for Averett, one for Peace, so we'll try and keep the difference there as well. Too many common names on the court, Davin. Broadcaster's worst nightmare.
That's it.
And this is Sykes over to Clark. Gives it to McKenzie. The inbound almost taken away, but it still stays with the Pacers. Erickson will go up for two, and Lundquist is going to get called for that one. Lundquist's second foul of the contest. Putting all the fouls on the Averett side on the board here early in the second quarter.
And John, speaking of the men's game, we are just now minutes away from the start there, as they have traveled down to Fayetteville, North Carolina to take on Methodist University.
Well, at least they probably don't have to deal with the snow down there.
That's a good thing.
And another boatload of subs. Everyone coming off except for Chandler. Washington, Longworth, and Myers will check in.
And, of course, we appreciate the Pacers coming up, braving the weather.
And there are only 4 players on the court for Averett. Well, it looks like four players came off, but only 3 came on. But it looks like Rosia solved that as she comes in. And that's a beautiful pass from Myers down low to Washington for an easy 2.
And it's going to push the Cougars' lead out to 16, and it's going to be a timeout on the court.
Yep. Coach Johnson calling 30 seconds, so we will stay right here with you, Davin.
And looking at this right now, the Cougars coming in 166 assists so far this season. They're averaging 12.8 assists per game, so a team that knows how to spread the ball around.
Absolutely, and you look at some of the numbers here for the girls. Sam Chandler still on top for 15. Looking at the William Peace side, we got a tie between Gooden and Erickson with a 3-point benefit, as William Peace just snuck into double digits with Jones' last bucket. And it's going to be Sykes to bring it up for the Pacers here. Oh, almost stolen away by Washington with a risky pass to Clark. And Sykes will put it up for 3. Does not fall. Washington tries to get the rebound. Can't get it, and she'll go out of bounds with it. Oh, and a hard foul there as Sykes and Myers collided.
That was a tough battle right there, and it's glad to see the Pacers still coming in, and they're not hanging their heads at all, John. They know there's plenty of time left in this ball game.
And that was a very physical contact there, as it looks like Myers and Longworth were running with their players, and Sykes ran through both of them, and Sykes got called for a foul there, actually. But regardless, you know, it can be a contact sport sometimes, basketball, and that's Chandler up for 2, no good. Rebounded by Robinson, almost taken away by Chandler, unable to hang on to it, so it's going to be Pacer ball coming out, going from east to west now.
Robinson did a nice job of saving that one, trying to get it back in and deflects off a Cougar, and the Pacers get the ball back.
And this is Gooden to Sykes, over to Clark, to Sykes, to Gooden, inside to Robinson, outside to Clark. Can't find anything open up. The Cougars are moving around too much for them. Clark to Sykes, and Robinson looking to get on in. Under 7 on the shot clock. Sykes will just throw it up there. Can't find anything. And Anika Jones comes down with the rebound. Here comes Chandler with the drive to Longworth. Sam Chandler to Washington. Over to Myers. Back to Chandler. Chandler looking to drive, and she'll travel. Too many fake steps there, and eventually 2 were real enough to get called for the walk.
And number 10, Tanae McKenzie, is now in the game for the Pacers.
She is very good. She has been able to pick up the pace for the Pacers when she's in there. And hopefully she can continue to try and get it for the benefits on her side, as this is now number 14, Tamara Murphy, good for 2.
And Murphy really doing a good job here so far, too, getting the ball inside. And it's Daquilla Washington now to Jessica Myers. Myers kicks it back out to Deese. Deese has Chandler. And Chandler thinks about it for a minute, decides against it, finds Deese. Deese and Washington.
Big 3 there by Washington, unable to capitalize on that one, and it's going to be McKenzie to bring it up for the Pacers. Finds Gooden over to Clark now. Gives it to Robinson.
And Deese coming down with the board there. Getting it down, setting up the play, and
unable to find a favorable roll for Deese. It goes out of bounds with the foul will be on number 14, Tamara Murphy, her first of the contest. Also the first foul of the second quarter for the Pacers. 1 point from being a 15-point game for Averett on top of this one. In and out. No good for Deese.
And I believe that is the Cougars' first missed shot from the free throw line this contest.
Deese puts it up again, and it's a 15-point ball game for the Cougars.
Averett shooting 83.3% from the free throw line, but John, the Pacers coming in 75% from the charity stripe, so William Peace not doing a bad job with their free looks either.
This is Clark, inbound to Erickson, back to Clark, but her foot was on the line when it came to her.
And Myers on the inbound now.
Myers finds Haley Chandler on the side, gives it over to Deese, finds Washington. Washington looks over to Jones at the top of the key to Myers. Myers will take it herself, puts it up for 2, and that falls in. No backboard needed.
And, John, you know, one thing that I've been really impressed with so far this season with Averett is not necessarily the type of team that's meant to get in and get the high percentage shots. And I think a lot of times they have to shoot from the floor. And there have been times this season where they really have performed well, getting the ball under the basket. And Myers has had a lot to do with that with her speed.
And Washington puts up a big shot, but that won't be good as she slid too much for the ref's liking. It'll be 2 feet travel there. As it looks like Deese and Sam Chandler will check in for Jessica Myers and Joelle Deese. Here comes McKenzie to bring it up to Johnson. Finds Clark. Clark working against Washington. To McKenzie. Over to Gooden now. Gooden can't find anything. Throws it back to McKenzie. Clark looks to drive. And kickball on Averett. 10-second shot clock to work with.
And Lakia Jones and Susanna Sykes now into the game for the Pacers.
Gives over to Sykes to Gooden. A little shot clock trouble here. Wouldn't be a basketball game without one.
And I'll tell you from personal experience, it takes a little while to catch your rhythm on that, on the shot clock.
I will admit, the shot clock is probably the hardest part of doing this. I'm not going to lie. I've done it before. You just lose focus sometimes, and it happens. And 8 seconds on the shot clock. And we got a travel on McKenzie. That's going Averett way.
Chandler on the inbound. She gets it in to Rosia.
Rosia slowly at the top here, looking for Sun to open up. Can't find much, but gives it over to Chandler. Almost loses it. Gives it to Longworth. Now the other Chandler. That's Sam. Wide open Jones is good for 2.
And we've got an early score here from the men's game down in Methodist. Averett out to Methodist out to a 10-6 lead, 15-24 left in the first half.
Well, if we know our boys, they will make a dramatic comeback. Because that's Sykes for 3, and she's good.
I think I have aged probably about 15 years in a year and a half watching men's basketball play. So, but we love thrilling games, and they're a lot more fun to write with.
Oh, I'm sure. And here comes Chandler, and she's blocked by Erickson. Gives it over to Rosia, and we have a stoppage of play here. Trying to figure out what the call is here.
I believe it's going to be something with the clock is what it looks like. Number 12, Cassidy Clark, going to check into the game for the Pacers.
Trying to see if
and it is something with the shot clock, asking for it to be reset.
Oh, 10 seconds off, huh? I guess it just wasn't running or something.
Sometimes the lever gets stuck.
We'll just let them deal with it. This is why we're on this side of the table. They can deal with that on that side of the table.
That's it.
Jay Stevens is where I draw the median. And this is into Longworth now. Over to Sam Chandler. Gives over to Haley Chandler to Longworth. Tipped away. It'll stay Averett ball. 7 seconds to work with on the shot clock, so it looks like they need a pass, open Sun up, and take a shot.
And it's now 34-18. 2:38 left before the break.
And it's over to Rosia. She has less than 5 to shoot. She'll drive. She'll put it up, and she'll be good. Averett stays commanding.
Rosia coming down with a nice jumper there as the clock expired.
This is going to be Clark to bring it in for the Pacers. Gives over to Erickson. Erickson puts up for 2. Can't find anything. Rebounded by Jones, and she's good. That is Lakia Jones for William Peace. And here comes Rosia. Brings it up. Gives it over to Haley Chandler. Haley Chandler looks for an open lane. Finds it. Over to Jones, and she's fouled going up for it. And we're going to assume the foul is on, and it is. Number 31, Hannah Erickson, her first. Team's third of the quarter. Jones is good for her first.
So looking at some of the leaders here, John, as far as scoring-wise, no surprise. Sam Chandler coming in with 15 for the Cougars, while Myers and Lundquist both have 5. And along with that, Daquilla Washington also has 4. For the Pacers, Tamara Murphy and number 35, Lakia Jones, each with 4. and number 20, Susanna Sykes, and number 25, Zana Gooden, each with 3 as well.
And both Myers and Rosia went up to block a pass from Clark, but Clark didn't go for the pass, and Myers ended up landing on Clark, so it's going to be a foul against Myers. And it's going to be Clark here to take the free throw for the Pacers.
And one thing I've been highly impressed with so far out of these William Peace Pacers is their ability to shoot from the line.
Absolutely, and it's definitely something that's keeping them in the game here late in the second quarter. And it's going to be Rosia to bringing the ball up quickly, trying to make a play for Averett to run here. Washington to Chandler, to other Chandler, Haley Chandler, to Jones, to Rosia, tipped away by Gooden. Sam Chandler will reset, finds Jones wide open again. No good, though. Jones will go up again, getting her own rebound, and that's good. 6 rebounds for Anika Jones. She leads the Cougars with rebounds on the night and 6 points. A couple more of those. She'll be looking at a double-double for the evening.
I tell you, it's one thing she has proved she's very capable of so far this season.
And it's thrown away by Clark. It'll be Averett ball here. And Rosia will bring it in for the Cougars. Gives it over to Washington now, to Haley Chandler, to Sam Chandler, to Deese. Little in and outs it looks like they're running, but Deese can't capitalize there. Rebounded by McKenzie. And she stumbles a little bit and loses the ball, and it'll be Cougar ball in Pacer territory. Under a minute to play here in the first half.
And another update from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Methodist now leads 13-9 with 12:23 remaining before the break.
Slowly closing the gap on that one. We'll keep you tuned in, as this is going to be Sam Chandler from the corner. Thrown away. Washington wasn't able to reach it, and it'll be Pacer ball at the half court.
And, John, I'm right there with you. I just got over an illness myself. And number 10, McKenzie, getting the ball down the court. McKenzie's going to kick it out to number 25, Gooden. And the Pacers looking, trying to establish play, set something up. 28 seconds remaining on the clock. And number 12, Cassidy Clark, with the shot, unable to find pay dirt. And Rosia puts it up on the other end. Clark coming down with the rebound, and now the Pacers storming down in transition. And Clark no good on that one. Chandler picking up the rebound.
And it's going to be Washington now to lead the pack with under 10 seconds to play here. Chandler with the drive. Goes up with it. No foul. And it'll end on that. The first half comes to a close with the Averett University Cougars on top of the Peace Pacers, 40-22, a very commanding lead early for the Cougars now. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to have our Buffalo Wild Wings halftime show and talk about this good first half by the Cougars, so stay tuned. And welcome back to the AU Sports Network. I'm John, the keeper Matriciano, joined by our assistant sports information director, Davin Wilson. And it's 40-22 Averett on top of this one, and it looks like we're on our way to a very good rout of the Peace Pacers by our Averett University Cougars. And it looks like something that we're looking forward to. Davin, we're both watching the same game, so I'm curious what you're seeing that I'm not. So take it away from this one.
Well, I tell you one thing, just looking right now, William and Peace shooting 26.1% from the field. Definitely something they need to improve on if they want to get back into this game. Also, 2 for 7 from beyond the arc for 28.6. But, one positive for the Pacers, 8 for 10 from the line. So, very key on that. And I think one of the big things, just looking at some of the stats, they've got to figure out a way to slow down Sam Chandler. And, Anika Jones with 6 total points and then 6 rebounds, find a way to shut her down as well.
Well, some basketball games are won and lost based on the free throws, but definitely something I do want to look at is, like you were saying, the first half field goals and the first half points. At one point, it was Sam Chandler versus the William Peace Pacers. She had the beginning 9 to 12 points for Averett by herself, and then all of a sudden the team started jumping in. They started sinking some threes down low, and then Anika Jones and Washington came alive down low in the paint. Looking at some of their numbers, obviously Sam Chandler with the total of 15 points for the first half. But you look at Anika Jones getting 6. We saw a few times she was wide open down low. No one even knew she was there. I didn't even see her myself. And then all of a sudden she gets the ball and she's up for 2. And then, of course, you get this. And then, of course, you try and match her up with a William Peace player like Hannah Erickson, who's also trying to get in the game, only has a short 3 points, earned some of those from the free throw line. But she's one of those people that if you sleep on her, she's going to take advantage of her. It looks like Jones has her covered right now. But definitely Jones is definitely someone I look as a first player a half, because she's already has 6 total rebounds. That's the most for her team, 19 rebounds altogether for him, with William Peace matching up with only 17 rebounds. So definitely this game is being won in the rebounds. There was a few moments down low when Averett was on offense where they have 3 offensive rebounds in a row or 4 offensive rebounds in a row, and would end with Rosia or Jones finishing a 2-point play. But, it's definitely something I'm looking at for them to continue doing in the second half as they look to continue to demolish this Peace team right now, Davin.
Well, and, that's one thing that you have to be really impressed with right now is, Averett's size. They're not necessarily built to dominate under the boards. And, with the 19-17 advantage, they're not necessarily dominating, but they are controlling the pace under the boards. And like you said, John, a lot of second chance points from the Cougars. Absolutely,
and it's definitely something Peace has to take advantage of. We look at the Peace lineup, and it looks like they have a lot of young players out there, a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there. One senior who hasn't hasn't come into the game at all for the Peace Pacers, so it's a lot of youth out there. But of course, we have a lot of youth as well, so you can never use it as an excuse. But of course, the Pacers are playing great, not letting them run away. Averett has been up by numerous points, whether it was 19, 15, or 20. Now they're up by 18 right now. A very long gap that they probably are looking to increase on. Definitely that we know that they're no stranger to scoring when we look at that Mary Baldwin game. Finishing their game at 99 total points for the evening that day. So it's definitely something Averett's not unfamiliar with, and it's good to see that they're starting to substitute and get different girls into play. Haley Chandler and Shannon Longworth, some girls you don't really see too often getting their playing time, and definitely Joelle Deese making the starting lineup. We didn't see her a lot last year, but she's definitely picking up her playing time this year, Davin.
Well, Joelle, she is such a high-energy player, and, when she's not in the game, she's constantly just off the bench, and I don't think I see her sit down the whole game, whether she's on the floor or she's on the sideline. I don't think I see her sit down the whole game, and she really provides a lot of spark for this Cougars team, and really is an impact player.
And we're going to move real quick to this week in AU sports. We know that both men and women's basketball teams are coming back from Piedmont, the men favoring it more than the women. But right now the men are down in Fayetteville, as we keep reminding you, and it is a close one there as Averett takes the lead on that one, 25-22, with under 4 minutes to play in the first half. We will keep you posted on that because we know this one will probably conclude before that. But we will keep you posted because we do love our Averett sports. But back to the women, of course. We look at these girls coming back out as William Peace takes the court. We look at some of the things that the women need to improve on. Can you really find anything that the women are doing, maybe a little bit out of key or something that is kind of affecting their play or something that the Cougars are doing right now, Devin?
I think one thing right now that's kind of not necessarily hurt them, but, the 3 of 10 from beyond the arc, thing is, it's very hard to get the three-point game going, but you really have to wait for those opportunities where you don't have the hand in your face and really have ample time to square your body away and just get your form exactly right to shoot that. Other than that, I do look at 8 turnovers so far for Averett, but it hasn't hurt them, and I don't think it will hurt them moving forward.
Absolutely, and you look at this team, they're scoring, they're on a roll right now. They're looking to bounce back from a tough loss down in Demorest, Georgia. And it's going to be a good second half for the Averett Cougars if they keep the shooting. You look at the turnover ratio. Averett leads it by double of what Piedmont is, 8/16. So they definitely are winning that one there. So they just got to keep up the good pressure, I think, and just keep putting the ball in the bucket, and it'll end with an Averett victory for the women tonight. So we thank you for joining us on the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime show. Both teams are back out, and we are ready to go. Throw 10 minutes up on the scoreboard down there. And we will continue live coverage here of Averett University versus the William Peace Pacers. And it's going to be – I'm sorry, Davin.
Well,
keep going.
One thing that I noticed just looking down at the stats, Averett outscored the Pacers 25-6 in the first quarter, but William Peace coming back, outscoring them 16-15 in the second quarter. So, positive right there for the Pacers. And
they're already on the board early here with under 15 seconds already putting up buckets. That was a 2-pointer. It looked like it was from Lundquist. This is Sykes. Finds McKenzie down low. Murphy. Here comes Lundquist to bring it up. Gives it to Chandler. D's looking for something to open up. Finds Myers. Myers will chuck up a 3, and that'll fall for 3.
And Myers, we were just talking about it, John, squaring up your body, making sure you're even with the basket, and Myers had the time to do that, and she sinks it.
The only thing I was taught when I played basketball really young was to keep your elbow in when you shoot, and it'll most likely go in. And as you can see, that did not work because I now play soccer. But looking at that, it's going to be Robinson going up for 2. And she will draw the first foul of the half. It's going to be on Anika Jones, number 52. Her first. Team's first. Robinson, we talked about earlier. Not a strong free throw percent shooter. She's 50%. And remains 50%.
And, John, that last Averett lead at 45-24 was the Cougars' largest lead of the game up to this point.
And now we're up to a 20-point deficit for the Pacers to climb back up, as this is going to be Deese over to Lundquist. Lundquist to Deese to Chandler. And Sam Chandler's going to slow it up to run a play now. Gives it over to Lundquist. Finds Myers on the corner. Myers will chuck it up again. No good. And it'll be rebounded by Murphy. Sykes to bring it up, working against Myers. And it's taken away by Chandler. It's a foot race between her and Sykes, and Chandler will put it up too hard. And Myers will reset the offense. Finds Jones, who's driving. Chandler get a second attempt. She's good on the second attempt for 2.
And, John, notice that the Cougars coming down in transition had Chandler and Myers. It was a 2-on-1 situation right there. So really very tough for the Pacers to do anything defensively right there.
And both quick, good shooters right there. You know it's dangerous when it's a 2-on-1 with them. And here comes Lundquist. Back out to Myers. Myers good reset, but Deese will take a wide open 3. Too much on it. Rebounded by Jones. Over to Lundquist now. Lundquist will drive, and it's taken away, and Clark will get it. And we got a jump ball. Going to be Pacer ball here.
And an update from Fayetteville. Your Averett University men's basketball team leads the Methodist University Monarchs 28-22, 2:29 left before the break. So Averett is able to trying to establish a little advantage in this one.
As Robinson goes up for a hard 2, can't find the basket as it's going to be rebounded by Myers now to bring it up all the way. Finds Deese in the corner, looking for something to open up. Can't. Gives it over to Chandler. Chandler will drive against Murphy. Puts it up for 2, and that's good.
tell you, Chandler can do it all. She can shoot.
She really can. She's something special. When I've never seen such talent out of a women's basketball player since I want to say what was her name? Something Murphy from UConn. But she is just something special. I mean, she was one of the first people I've ever seen get a triple. So, and I didn't even know that existed until she did it.
I tell you, and it's not something you see on either side of basketball, men's or women's. So, you know, and she's come close to doing it again this season a couple of times.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She always makes sure that the first job gets done, and that's putting the points in the basket before she focuses on anything else.
Well, she's a very selfless player too, and she's going to do what's best for the team. And she wants to get her points. She wants to do what she can to help. But if she has to dish the ball out or get a tough rebound, foul, she's more than willing to do it.
Yep, and she just came away with a steal there. Now she's going to drive and put up the 2. No good. And it's looking to be the Sam Chandler show yet again early here in the second half.
Chandler, you know, just very, very tough to contain. And she is going to the line now where she is a 70.5% free throw shooter. Of course, that's not counting what she's done in this game, so I'm sure that average will go up after this.
Oh, of course. The foul was on number 20, Susanna Sykes, her third, so now she's in some foul trouble, and she'll come out of the game.
So Averett, a 15-3 run to start the third quarter and make it 16-3.
Good effort by Chandler out there, and she'll come out, take a break here.
And, you know, John, basketball is really a game of runs a lot of times, and it's really especially those, you know, obviously those late runs in the game. And you know, anytime you can open up a half on a run, it really kind of takes the wind out of the other team.
This is now Clark at the top. Finds Erickson down there. Can't find anything in the basket. And Deese will watch it sail out of bounds. Here comes Myers to bring it up. Finds a wide open Tequila Washington. No good, though, as it's rebounded by Jones of the Pacers. And here comes McKenzie doing some fancy footwork. Can't find anything to get around Myers, though. Gives it over to Clark, back to McKenzie, and inside look to Jones for the Pacers. And Shannon Longworth, great box out for Myers, able to get the rebound there.
Took the words right out of my mouth, John.
Yeah. Gives it over to Lundquist, finds Myers. Myers gives it over to Lundquist back. Lundquist will drive, and she'll put it up for 2. Great charge by Lundquist in there to get a 2-point play.
And looking at points right now, Sam Chandler by far the leading scorer in this one. 21 points to go along with Lundquist's 9, and Myers is 6.
Big shot by Gooden from the corner. Can't find the 3. As Lundquist drives again, gives it over to Washington. That one rolls out. Gooden keeps it alive. Throws it back to McKenzie. And the ref gives it to Averett now. Myers to Longworth. Back to Washington. Washington will pop a 2. And that's good.
And really pretty form on that jumper right there from Washington.
Yeah, I've seen her develop, and she's definitely got that shot nailed down from the corner.
She does.
It's going to be McKenzie now to bring it up. Sykes is back in the game. Has to be careful with the 3 fouls on it. And this is Clark over to McKenzie. Sykes looking for Sun. Can't find it. Finds Jones in the corner. Inbound to Clark. And Clark is drawing a foul. And it looks like it'll be on number 52, Anika Jones. Draw her third of the contest.
And Clark does a good job of getting into the basket, drawing that foul, and getting herself to the line.
Clark, a high arcing foul free throw shooter, unable to find the basket. As Lundquist comes out for Haley Chandler. Clark no good on the second one. Rebounded by Jones. here comes Myers over to Haley Chandler. Finds Sarah Longworth. Sarah Longworth for three. Does not fall. Longworth stays looking for her first points. Here's Clark. Looks to drive against Jones. Good block by Jones. Washington draws the rebound. Gives it over to Myers. Myers will drive. Myers stops, pops. No good.
A little triple team action right there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they're playing hard no matter what the score is. They want as much as they can get.
And they are out to their, by far, their biggest lead so far tonight at 30 points, 55-25. 3:29 remaining in the third period.
Fouls on 32, Shannon Longworth, her first.
And it's going to go a foul. Sykes good for three there. The foul was on number 32, Shannon Longworth. Her first results in a William Peace Pacer three. And that ends another run.
And so at the end of the first half, little update from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Averett with a 33-28 advantage over Methodist. But back to the action here. And Pacers spreading the ball out right now, trying to set something up. Gets it over to number 20, Sykes. Sykes goes inside to Erickson. And it looks like that's going to be Daquilla Washington coming up with the rebound. And there's going to be a timeout on the court.
And we're going to have a full timeout. It's going to be called by Coach Liz Hickey. Give her players a rest. And we're going to take a short break here. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Grand Center here. It's going to be Haley Chandler. Stolen away by Clark for the Pacers. And given over to Sykes now. And Robinson with a wild shot. No good. Taken away by Chandler.
And this is one thing that the Pacers have to try to avoid now. They are down by quite a bit, but there is still 12 minutes left in this game, so plenty of time for Peace to come back, and they just need to be patient and look for the right opportunities.
And it's going to be foul number 25. That is Zana Gooding, her first. And Myers whips up a three, and Jones goes in for a hard collision. Both players walk away okay.
And you got to give a little credit there to Cassidy Clark, a tough play right there going against Jones.
Yep, and Jones is smiling. They're having fun out there. And it's going to be Sykes to bring it up. Sykes waiting for something to open up. This is a Clark, and Gooden will put up a prayer. No good. Sykes will take the rebound. Easy two drive. Breaks it down to a 25-point lead for Averett. William Peace trying to climb back here late. They definitely need to start something if they want to get close. This is now Haley Chandler over to Daquilla Washington. Washington will put it up. No good. Chandler unable to get the rebound as it falls into the safe hands of Murphy. Sykes to Gooden. Gooden for three. No good. Murphy finds Sykes to Gooden. Back to Sykes. Back to Clark. And it's kicked away by Washington. Wrong sport there, Davin.
Yep, it was. And really good little, to use a volleyball term, rally play there by the Pacers. And they will get the ball back. 1:14 remaining here at the Grant Center. 55-30. Averett leads. Using a dominant performance from Sam Chandler here tonight. Chandler, 21 points on the evening to go along with 3 rebounds. And is shooting 58.3% from the field. So, solid night for her.
And that's Gooden who gives it away straight into the comfortable hands of Jones. And here comes Myers with a drive. The shot, no good. Rebounded by Jones. Gooden will get it. Almost fouled again. Thrown up to a wide open Robinson. She'll put it up for 2, and that'll fall.
And great fast break play there by the Pacers. And William Peace, you never know exactly how the game is going to go, because as we were talking about earlier, they are a very athletic team, very capable of throwing their bodies around and getting the rebounds and driving into the basket. And it just hasn't been their night tonight.
And Jones just takes it out of Robinson's hand for the rebound. As Longworth drives and can't find it. And he'll stay on the ground. And Nika Jones, 11 rebounds for the night. 4 more points, gets the double-double.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that would be her 3rd consecutive double-double.
And it's going to be a backcourt violation. Low pass throw to Longworth from Myers.
Jones came down with 15 points and 16 rebounds the other night against Piedmont College. So definitely a big factor, as she has definitely stepped in and filled the role led by the absence of Koski.
And here's Murphy to put it up. No good. Longworth has 1 second. Throws it up. No good. It was close. It was close.
It was. She had a little bit more under it. That's nothing but net right there.
At the end of the 3rd quarter, it's 55-32. Averett leading this one. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to have the 4th quarter to your Averett William Peace ball game. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Grant Center. We are looking for the conclusion of this one. Averett on top, 55-32, a pretty commanding lead and a comfortable one for the Cougars. And 10 minutes on the clock. And it's going to be Rosia to bring it in. Rosia finds Sam Chandler. No good. Trying to get the rebound. It's taken by Clark. Clark finds Murphy. Back to Clark. Clark will drive. Can't find anything. Gives it over to Murph. That is number 2, Lauren Lane with a shot. No good, but Gooden gets it and puts it back up. Excuse me, that's Lakia Jones for William Peace. And Rosia tries to force it to Lundquist, kicked away by Murph.
Seems like we have seen a lot of those tonight, the kick balls and the kickaways. And
well, it's a good defensive strategy to use your feet or use your whole body to stop the ball, you know. You're just going to get called for it. And here's Haley Chandler. Finds Lundquist down low. A little trouble. Quadruple teamed. And there's Rosia for three. No good, but she's going to go to the line and earn her three. Foul's going to be on number 12, Cassidy Clark, her first of the contest.
Excuse me, on black, Cassidy Clark, second foul.
First one's good for Rosia. And she's good for two. Going for the hat trick of free throws right now. And it falls.
So Rosia, all three right there. And 58-34, Averett lead now.
I know when you're at the line for a while, you know, you can start losing composure there, but she nailed it perfectly. It's Clark's in the corner now. Can't find anything. Throws it back to Murphy. Murphy give it over to Lane. To Erickson. Taken away by Rosia, and she'll hang on to it. Very good composure by Rosia yet again. Beautiful. Chandler finds the ball inside the Lundquist. Can't grab it. Goes out of bounds.
Beautiful chest pass right there, too, from Rosia.
Mm-hmm. Here's Deese outside to Chandler. Chandler wide open for a three. Very high arcing, can't find it. And Rosia finds the ball on the rebound. Lundquist finds Haley Chandler in the corner. Haley Chandler put up for three. That's good! Haley Chandler, her first points of the night, her first shot in general, and that's good for three.
Chandler, the 5'7" guard out of Greensboro, North Carolina, attended Southern Guilford High School, so not too far from Averett.
45-minute drive, and the Guilford area that Averett people are know very well. And Frida threw an elbow, and she's going to get called with the charge.
And I think she knew right there.
Yeah.
As soon as she did it, she
handed the ball right to the ref before he even blew the whistle. She's like, I know. I can't do that.
You don't even have to blow your whistle. I got it, sir.
You know, she's, Frida from Sweden, you know, very popular sport up there, hockey.
Yes.
I think she's getting it mixed up there, but she's a very good player when it comes to basketball as well. Murphy to Gooden. Goes over to Lane. Murphy trying to pull something up. Can't find it. Throws it back to Lane. Lane puts it up for two. Does not fall. Rebounded by Haley Chandler. And now Rosia is running the court. Finds Lundquist. Lundquist wide open for two, and that falls.
Beautiful bounce pass right there from Rosia.
And Lundquist now in the double digits for points. Almost taken away by Deese. Unable to corral it as she draws the foul. Her second of the contest. And it's going to be inbounded to Jones. To Erickson. Does not fall. Anika Jones with the rebound.
So Lundquist now 7 points away from matching her career high that she set at Mary Baldwin last week.
Well, would be good to get another career high here in front of the home crowd of Averett.
Well, and the benefits of games like this, John, it really helps you build up your confidence and really helps you moving forward in conference play.
Absolutely. And it's definitely a good bounce-back game after getting a close one against Piedmont there, as this is going to be Lundquist with a drive to Jones. No good basket. That was going to be at number 10. Lundquist running away, thinking she caused the foul. But the foul will be caused on number 10, Tanea McKenzie.
So Murphy, Robinson back in the game for the Pacers. Mass substitution right there from William Pease.
And it's the whole starting lineup in for the Pacers. Here's Longworth, finds Racia. Racia back to Longworth, looking for a shot, can't find it. She'll drive, she'll push, and she'll get called for a blocking foul. The foul's on 33. Adriana Robinson, her third. Longworth, no points yet. And that one falls. She gets her first point of the night. And here comes Susanna Sykes to bring it up for the Pacers. Gives it over to Gooden, met by Lundquist. Finds Sykes to Murph. Gooden with a wide open three. Takes advantage but can't put it in the net. Gives it over to Sykes now. Finds McKenzie. Here's Gooden with a drive, almost a carry. And here comes Haley Chandler. It's a 3-on-1. Gives over to Lundquist, wide open for two, and she's good.
And Lundquist now 13 on the evening, so inching closer to that matching her career high.
Yep. 4 more points she needs. Excuse me, 5. This is McKenzie, good for 2. Averett now has a commanding 30-point lead over the William Peace Pacers, with no hopes or no chance of letting up, it seems, as Longworth looks to pull up for a 3, can't find it, gives it to Jones. Jones pulls up for 2, in and out and in.
John, I believe that one had a little English on it.
I tell you, I mean, the way that gravity takes the basketball sometimes, I can't even describe it. Here comes Gooden over to Sykes, to Clark. Clark trying to find Sykes, finds her. And she will bounce past it out of bounds, and it'll come to an Averett University basketball. It looks like Washington's going to check in. Not sure for who yet. It's going to be Haley Chandler. And here comes Racia to bring it up for the Cougars. Finds Washington to Lundquist. Over to Longworth. Gives it to Lundquist. Lundquist for 3. No good. Anika Jones with another great rebound. Now Longworth will throw one up. Up and down and in.
Thought for a second that might have rimmed off the top of the shot clock right there.
Yeah, I was about to say, did that touch? And just barely didn't touch enough for the refs liking, and it falls for Shannon Longworth's first field goal of the night. And it's going to be a kick, or a kickball on 21, I believe. Yep.
And so number 12, Cassidy Clark on the inbound, the guard forward out of Little Axe, Oklahoma. So
Racia just smacked it away yet again. And Clark inbounds to Sykes now. Gives it over to Clark. Finds Jones, and Sykes is good for 3.
And a good shot right there from Sykes.
She's hit a couple tonight, I have to admit, and she's on the 11 points. 3 of 6 from the outside the arc. Now Longworth gives it to Lundquist. Puts it up for 2. Can't find it. Too much pressure and power on that one. Gives it over to Sykes. Lundquist to Racia. On defense, that is. That's Lakia Jones for the shot. No good. Followed up by McKenzie, and she's good. Longworth wide open, doesn't take advantage. Washington over to Lundquist to Racia. Racia will pull it from the corner, 2. That falls, and she's good. Still over a 32-point lead right now. Sykes to over to Lane, and Lane draws a foul from Racia.
Well, the Cougars really have used a 16-3 run, I believe it was, to start off this second half, and it's really, really helped them pull away in this game. And looking at some of the leaders here, Sam Chandler with 21 points, Frida Lundquist with 13. For the Pacers, number 20, we were talking about earlier, Susanna Sykes has had a solid evening, 11 for 10, along with number 14, Tamara Murphy, who has 10 points as well.
And it's going to be Sykes again, gives it over to Murphy. And Haley Chandler ends up on the ground, but she's going to get called for the travel. Gives it to Clark. Haley Chandler falls, and Sykes takes advantage. She's good for 2. Her first 3-point opportunity on the night. Foul will be on number 32, Shannon Longworth. Her second of the night. Third for Averett in the quarter. Sykes trying to complete the 3-point play here. And it falls. Here comes Washington running the play. Finds Deese. Chandler looking to drive, can't find anything, gets pushed to the floor. And she's a little slow to get up. And it looks like we're going to have an injury timeout. Haley Chandler is still down on the court. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome you back to the Grand Center. Scary moment as Haley Chandler able to get back on her feet, though. We're going to finish up the game here. It looks like Clark is going to play it over to Sykes, go over to Lane. Find Murphy. Murphy can't find anything to open up. Kick ball again.
John, looking at the standings here right now, and Meredith at 3 and 4 is the team that is in front of Averett, and they have the last seed for the conference tournament if the season ended today.
Right.
But with the win today, Averett would actually move a half game back of the Avenging Angels for that coveted last playoff spot.
And we'll be soon to get a score for you as soon as we know what their situation is right now. Foul called on the floor.
And another update from Fayetteville. The Averett men's basketball team beating Methodist University 47-36, 14:42 left in the game.
Averett looking to pull away there as they can just cruise comfortably and then have hopefully a safe trip back to Danville, Virginia. We did like to mention that it is snowing here in Danville, maybe not in parts of North Carolina for those of you listening in that side of the state. But luckily, basketball's played indoors.
And, definitely would like to thank William Peace for braving the cold and braving the snow coming up here, and hopefully they will have a safe trip back.
And Sykes is no good for 2. As Washington pushes it with Lundquist. Lundquist throws across court to Longworth. And Deese gives it to Lundquist. Washington to Rosia. Rosia puts it up for 2. No good. Rebounded by Jones. Lakia Jones for William Peace. Clark finds Lane. And Sykes for 3, and she's good.
I tell you one thing, Susanna Sykes, she can shoot a 3, John.
Yeah. She's up to 16 points now, has the lead for points for the William Peace side. Looks like we're going to have another foul on the court. It's going to be on number 2, Lauren Lane for the Pacers, her first. It'll be a shooting foul, so Rosia will go to the line for 2.
And Sykes comes into this game averaging 7.6 points per game, so has blown that average out of the water. Sykes, the freshman guard forward out of Nashville, North Carolina.
See it good. Well, Davin, I think we can say it's looking like a convincing win for Averett, and definitely something the USA South to look at, knowing that Averett can play with everyone, and they're going to probably look to be dominant later on here in the stretch.
And I think they have a very good possibility of doing that. They keep up this high-tempo offense and really along with the defense. And, you know, really the thing that's impressed me with the last few games, Averett has so many people they can spread the ball around to.
As Washington puts a 3 up there. And, you know, it's just something good to see because we know that going down to Piedmont, getting absolutely, blown out in the first half, able to come back and not get anything from it. It's good to see that Averett University didn't let them affect it, and it's going to be something they could look behind now as they move forward with this convincing win over the William Peace Pacers.
And that's something that Coach Hickey has done a great job doing this year and just really getting the girls to rally around their ideas for success, rally around the system, and really rally around each other.
Right.
And I think that, she will definitely bear the fruits of that hard work.
William Peace still playing, though, here. It'll be a jump ball going to the Pacers. And, you know, it's just one of those games where it could be a learning curve for either team.
And, a lot of positives for the, Pacers. They end up managed to keep this game rather close, but really were just outmanned to start the second half and just really unable to come back from that. And, trailed by 18 at the break, but still plenty of time was left for them in the second half to get back in this one, but they just couldn't slow down this Averett offense.
Right. And that'll do it here as we tick down the final seconds. Averett's going to take this one 78-48. And they're going to move up in the standings, barring anything that Meredith is doing. Averett finishes with a 30-point win over the William Peace Pacers. We're going to take a short break here, but when we come back, we're going to have a full post-game stats report and a final update on the men's game before we leave you from Danville, Virginia. Stay tuned, folks. Welcome back to the Grand Center here as we're just wrapping up or beginning our post-game. It's going to be our Kickback Jacks post-game show. We're going to move right into our Piedmont Glass post-game analysis, and it looked like it was Averett the whole way, Davin.
It was, and, just looking at some of these stats right now, really 42%, 42.9 from the field in the first half, 88.2 from the free throw line throughout the whole game. And John, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I think really the difference maker in this one was that run that Averett used to open up the second half that really helped them put some real distance between them and the Pacers.
I agree with you, and it was Averett from the start, it was Averett from after. For a second, it looked like Sam Chandler was going to take the whole thing by herself, but, of course, there's no I in team. And, of course, you look at the stats, of course, like you were saying, Sam Chandler with the 21 points, very, very good. Frida Lundquist with 13, also another great performance by her. She was, I think she was 4 or 5 points shy from tying her career high or going for it, but she's a great athlete out there, and she did a great job, Davin. I agree with you saying that she was a great player for this team.
And she really is, and, coming off the bench, stepping up, filling in, and, really stepping up where – there have been some injuries for Averett this year, and she along with Joelle Deese, forgot her name there for a second. She along with Joelle Deese, the pair of them, they've been solid. Onika Jones, a very good game too, under the boards, picking up 13 points. She actually finishes 2 shy away from a double-double. So really solid play, solid efforts from the Cougars all around.
I agree with you, and. It's definitely something to look forward to as Averett has some tougher schedules coming up. They travel to they have Emory and Henry at home, so they're going to take a short break from the conference action, and then looking at the rest of their schedule, it's just conference all the way till February the 21st when they host that final game, Meredith, for their seniors. So it's definitely it'll definitely be a nice break. So this game and next game will be a good break for them, knowing that they can have a good established team as they try to get the chemistry going and see what they have doing well. And I agree that it'll be something to do. But we will have live coverage for that January 24th. But before that, we would like to remind you that before we close off that our AU men's basketball team is winning by 10, 58-48. With under 8 minutes remaining in the second half down in Fayetteville, North Carolina against Methodist. They will be back here in Danville January 23rd at 2 p.m., I believe a Saturday game. I will not be here for that, so I'm hoping you hold down the fort for me, Davin.
I will. I've got it locked down for you.
And it looks like the women will host Emory and Henry the day after at 4 p.m., also on the AU Sports Network. You can catch Davin hosting those 2 games. I will not be back till the next Wednesday game. It'll be January 27th against Ferrum College for men's basketball, and it'll the women I will not be back for till January 30th when they host Huntington at 2 p.m. So, but good game for the women. They move up in the standings. We were not able to get a score for Meredith. Unfortunately, we did not think they played tonight, but they will be tied with Meredith, not having played them yet, and they will hopefully move up in the standings, try and get that last playoff spot as we start to make the playoff push, as I like to call it. And Averett women's basketball is something they're very good at. But, Davin, do you have anything to add before we sign off tonight?
I think we've wrapped it up, John.
Perfect. And we thank you at home for Averett Sports Network. For those of you traveling home, especially William Peace and our men's basketball team, we hope you have a safe trip knowing that it's snowy weather, and we look forward to hosting another live event for you next time around. I'm John Matriciano. This is Davin Wilson, the Assistant Sports Information Director, and this is from Danville, Virginia. We thank you for watching and have a great night.
This has been a production of the Averett Sports Network.